Our pets, they're talking to us all the time, every single minute of every single day. But here's the thing that might surprise you. Most of what can damage our bond with them doesn't even look like damage. In fact, it usually looks completely normal. Sometimes it can even look like love.
And that's really the big question we're diving into, isn't it? Of course you love your pet, but is that love landing? Are your actions actually being received the way you mean them to be? Because there's often this huge gap between what we think our pets want and what their biology is screaming for them to have. And that gap can quietly, day by day, wear away at the very trust you're trying to build. So what's the fix? Well, it's about learning to speak their language, getting a handle on their stress signals, their instincts. It's not just about being a good owner. No, it's about becoming fluent in the language of trust itself. It's about finally seeing the world through their eyes.
And that journey, it all starts with the absolute bedrock of their world, safety. Before anything else, before play, before training, before cuddles, our pets have to feel fundamentally secure in their environment. But what we see as a safe home and what they experience can be two completely different realities.
Okay, let's take something super simple, like the litter box. To you, maybe you think, I'll get to it tomorrow, no big deal. But for a cat, this is a huge deal. Cleanliness isn't just a preference, it's deep in their DNA. For thousands of years, a dirty bathroom spot was like a giant flashing neon sign for predators. And that instinct doesn't just switch off. So when their most private space feels compromised, their entire world starts to feel unsafe. And it's not just the litter box, right? It's their whole world. We look at our living room and see furniture, decor. A cat sees a complex mental map. Every single chair, that bookshelf, the table, it's all logged as a potential hiding spot, a high-up safe zone, or an escape route. So when you suddenly decide to rearrange the entire room, you're not just redecorating. To them, you've just taken their map of the world, torn it to shreds, and told them to figure it out. And studies on feline anxiety show this exact kind of unpredictability is a massive trigger for chronic stress. Now, for dogs, safety also means having the option to just check out. They absolutely need a spot, a crate, a dog bed in the corner, where they know without a doubt they will be left alone. And this isn't about being spoiled. It's a neurological necessity. It's the one place their brain can finally downshift and recover without having to be on. And look, the science is totally clear on this. One key study found that the single most important factor was that this space had to be owner-respected. That means when your dog is in their spot, that's it. No touching, no talking to them, nothing. A dog that can't ever truly rest just keeps accumulating the stress hormone cortisol, and eventually, that's gotta go somewhere. Okay, so once we've got that foundation of safety locked in, we can start building on it. And the next level is all about honoring their biology, those deep, innate drives that they were born with. These aren't just little quirks. They are powerful, evolutionary needs that have to be met for your pet to feel truly fulfilled. Come on, we've all been there. You're trying to get your walk in, maybe you're in a hurry, and your dog just slams on the brakes to sniff a single patch of grass for what feels like an actual eternity. And we do it. We tug the leash, we say, let's go, and we have no idea what we're really interrupting. To really get what's happening in that moment, you have to see this number, 300 million. That's how many olfactory receptors can be packed into a dog's nose. Now look at this difference. It's just staggering. We have about 6 million. They have up to 300 million. And the part of their brain that analyzes all that information is 40 times larger than ours, proportionally. So when they're sniffing, they're not just smelling pee. They're reading the neighborhood newspaper. They're getting updates on who's been there, their health, their mood. It's a complex story. Every time you pull them away, you are literally slamming the book shut in the middle of a fascinating chapter.
And get this, it's not just about simple fun. An amazing study found that letting dogs go on these sniffaries, these long meandering walks where they get to lead with their nose, it actually leads to higher levels of measurable optimism. Think about that. How your dog gets to use their nose can literally change their entire outlook on life.
The same thing goes for play. It's not just about burning energy. For a dog, real satisfying play fulfills the brain's ancient predatory sequence. It needs to have this pattern, the build-up and stalk, the explosive chase, the satisfying catch where they win, and then a calm release to cool down. Hitting all these notes tells their brain, I am a capable, successful hunter. And when they don't get this, studies show a direct link to anxiety and even compulsive behaviors like tail chasing. Now for cats, that prey instinct is just as powerful. But it brings us to a crucial, non-negotiable rule. When you wrestle with your kitten using your hands, you might think it's cute, but you are teaching them one thing and one thing only. Human hands are prey. The solution is so simple. Always use a toy as a buffer. Your hands should only ever mean safety, petting, and food, never a target. It's a boundary that pays off for life. All right, this brings us to our final, and maybe most important, pillar, the art of listening. Once your pet feels safe and their instincts are being met, the deepest, most unbreakable trust is built on one simple thing, feeling understood. And that's on us. It requires us to pay really close attention. A cat's communication style is basically a masterclass in subtlety. They are giving you a constant stream of feedback about how they're feeling, what they need, and especially when they've had enough. Our job is to learn to hear their whispers so they never have to shout. And these right here, these are a cat's quiet nose. The ears starting to flatten, that low, twitchy tail flick, the skin on their back that suddenly starts to ripple, or even just a tiny shift of their weight away from your hand. These aren't random. Each one is a clear, polite request. And when we just keep on petting past these signals, the message we send them is devastating. Your opinion doesn't matter. I'm not listening. And this isn't just a nice idea. A game-changing study in 2020 proved it. It found that cats whose owners were good at reading these subtle cues and respected them, well, those cats had measurably lower stress hormones in their system and a significantly stronger bond with their person. Feeling understood isn't a luxury for them. It's a biological need. Now, for dogs, one of the most powerful ways we communicate is with our voice. It turns out their brains have evolved a specialized system just for decoding the emotional tone of how we speak. Seriously, it's not about the words, "who's a good boy?" It's about the warm, high-pitched, loving sound behind the words. The proof here is just incredible. A 2022 study actually used fMRI scans to watch dogs' brains in real time. And when their owners used that specific warm, gentle, high-pitched praise voice, they could literally see the relaxation centers of the dog's brains light up. Your voice is a direct remote control for your dog's nervous system. It's that powerful. So what happens when you put all this together? When you build that foundation of safety, you honor their instincts, and you master the art of listening? Well, you get the final equation. You get real, deep, unbreakable trust. And this means we kind of have to redefine what trust really means from their point of view. It's more than just love. It's the profound, bone-deep belief that in your presence, they are truly seen for who they are, their needs are understood, and they are completely and utterly safe. I mean, think about it. For any animal, sleep is the single most vulnerable state they can be in. So when your dog or your cat makes a conscious choice to curl up on your lap and fall deeply asleep, that is the ultimate declaration. They are saying, of all the places in the world, this spot, right here with you, is the safest I can possibly be. That single moment is the physical proof of everything you've built together. So the next time you're with your pet, just remember, they're talking. They are constantly sending signals, offering you a window into their world and trying to build that bridge of trust. The only question left is, what will you choose to hear today?